You know, I've always had this thing about death. It's not like your typical fear. Spiders crawling up your arm or looking down from a skyscraper. Those things never bothered me. I used to tell my wife Sarah and our kids, the only thing that scares your old man is death itself. But something changed recently. It started with those sleepless nights. At first, they were just occasional, the kind everyone has when there's too much on their mind. But then they became more frequent. Night after night, I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, watching shadows dance across the walls. Sarah noticed, of course. She'd wake up at 3 a.m. and find me sitting in the living room, just thinking. "Come back to bed," she'd say, but I couldn't. How could I explain that every time I closed my eyes, that fear of death felt more real, more present? The irony wasn't lost on me. By being so afraid of death, I'd stopped living. My days became foggy, dreamlike sequences of coffee cups and tired smiles. The kids would ask me to play, but I was too exhausted. Sarah would want to talk about her day, but I could barely focus. Then one night, something clicked. I was sitting there, in my usual spot on the couch, when I realized I wasn't really afraid of death. I was afraid of not living enough. All those hours I spent awake, paralyzed by fear, were hours I could have spent making memories with Sarah, watching our children grow, actually living. Now, when people ask me what I'm afraid of, I tell them a different story. I tell them about how I learned that the real tragedy isn't dying. It's forgetting to live while we're here. Sometimes the things we fear the most teach us the most important lessons about life. And yes, I still have those sleepless nights sometimes. But now, instead of letting fear consume me, I use that time to plan adventures with my family, to dream up stories to tell my kids, to think about all the moments I want to create. Because in the end, it's not about how long we sleep. It's about how fully we live when we're awake.